friends, to Filmmaking and More. I'm your host, Juicy, and this show is about filmmaking, screenwriting, and music involved in the movie-making process. So sit back and relax. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the marketing and publishing options available. We're going to be looking at taking advantage of social media sites and whether to do it yourself or hire pros. But before we do that, go ahead and like, share, and leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of this episode and what you think might make good content for future episodes. So thanks. So maybe you have a movie, maybe you have a short, or you're doing videos like I do as a content creator. The publishing and marketing is the same. So in the traditional sense, publishing usually referred to books. But now in the digital age, we're looking at it for videos of all kinds of people, covering a myriad of items too. You can still go the paper route, but now it's the digital age and it's much faster, quicker, instantaneous. You can look into traditional if you're doing local stuff, but if you're going to go ahead and release something on a grand scale, it's best to go ahead and search for those publishing options. Then we're going to get into marketing. I'm going to show you the different avenues you can take, and then we'll dive into social media, where we're going to focus on mainly 3 to 4 sites, and those are the most popular ones. Now, the social media industry has kind of blown up since 2016, and there's a lot more options or available sites to choose from, but we're going to talk about the big 3. And then there's monetization. So here's a list of 10 publishing options that I found on the net that might help you understand some of your options. So you can get a website of your own, make sure that it hosts videos. Then there's free options out there that you can go ahead and do merchandising or sales on. You can load videos, you can maybe do some other things, embedded stuff. And then of course there's YouTube. Of course YouTube also falls under social media in a sense, and that's why I put an asterisk next to it, but we're going to go ahead and list that as part of the publishing options because it is. And then there's Vimeo, and some of these aren't necessarily where it's like going to be used to actually promote. It's maybe a storehouse or maybe capturing area. If you don't have a website, Vimeo is a good option. Or alternative, I'm not too sure about some of these. Dailymotion, I don't know much about it. You can check it out. There's LinkedIn, of course, if you've been looking for a job in the professional realm or maybe in the arts. LinkedIn is a good site to go to. There's Google Plus if you want to go from the business side aspect. LBRY, I just found out today a little bit about that, but like I said, it's best that you go look for those options and see which one best fits your budget and your needs. And then there's MetaCafe, and then Vivo, V-E-V-O, and then WordPress's Jetpack. So those are some of the options that I found for 2021, and those were confirmed by a couple of different sites. Check them out on your own time, and we'll go on. So in marketing, there's also involved in SEO, and that's a search engine optimization. Read up on it, research it. That way you understand what it is, what function does that serve, and some of the features about it that maybe you can do on your own. The next option is for marketing is smart AI driven, and that's something that's new to me that I just found out in researching for this show. It's supposedly supposed to help in understanding some of the things that, as a content creator, what are you looking to do? How are you looking to market yourself? And that gets into branding, of course. If you don't know much about branding, you should also check that out. As a content creator, that should be a number one thing for you to understand what branding means. And then, of course, merchandising, where you're talking about products, you're talking about sales, and other things as well. And then social media, we got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Those are the big 3, and those are the ones that I use. And you can use Instagram to actually feed any posts that you put onto Instagram into Twitter and Facebook automatically. I don't know how it does it, but it does it with just a little slide of a button in the post area of your Instagram that comes up on your phone. And then, of course, I mentioned YouTube before. It's a social media site, actually, because it does have some kind of instant interaction between the video uploader and the general audience. So let's take a look at the goals that we're going to be doing for posting videos. So you may have these goals in mind, or maybe you don't understand what it is that you're doing, you just want to make videos. So maybe you can kind of make some heads or tails of what you want to target. So do you want to generate some kind of income, provide some revenue for as a stream you can use to boost your show and make it bigger, or you can go ahead and use that for better equipment. And then do you want to expose yourself as a creator or a craftsman in whatever it is you do, it, whether it's music or filmmaking, screenwriting, it could be welding, it could be whatever. It doesn't have to be anything that's artsy or crafty or anything like that. It could be just, knowledge that you have of a certain area of study or whatever. So we're going to talk more about branding a little later, but right now we're just talking about specifically what kind of branding do you want to have for yourself or your company as you're posting these videos, and it should always be the same. You don't want to change brands unless you're doing different products or different services. So those are some things to keep in mind. If you are going to be doing something that provides different services or products that are unrelated, then you can get different brands or whatever, maybe put them under an umbrella corporation or LLC or something like that. I'm not a lawyer, so don't take any advice from me. So, and then of course, delivering great content, whether it be informational, educational, or entertaining. Are you a good entertainer? Do you find yourself with a bunch of knowledge or a bunch of information that you can share on a particular subject or topic? There's many reasons why there's content creators. So once again, here's the list of the 10 publishing options. It is a list that I found to be current. There was 3 different sites that I went to. These are the top 10s that I wanted to capture for the show. So websites, you can go free, you can go Wix, you can go GoDaddy. I think there's other pay sites that you can go to and have them build your website for you if you're not too savvy on HTML or plug and play website building. And then of course there's the whole thing of YouTube. You got to watch out for any copyrights, anything that's having to do with kids, for example. You have to look and see what the rules and their terms of service. Vimeo, I used Vimeo quite a bit, and then LinkedIn, I have used that as a way to try to look for working full-time job. I'm using that as a way to promote myself as a screenwriter or filmmaker. And WordPress, I've used WordPress before, but I haven't used Jetpack, so I'm not too sure. WordPress is, pretty basic if you're going to be using it as a blog. Jetpack, I understand that you can actually use it for uploading your videos there. I'm not sure if there's any kind of live, anything like that. Now, live options, you're going to have to maybe search a little bit more, because I know Facebook has live, YouTube has live. There's other ones that LinkedIn may have. I don't know. So check them out and see what you can find out. So with marketing and SEO, search engine optimization, usually means is the visibility or ranking on search engines. So does your links to your videos, do your videos come up on the first page or the 10th page or the 100th page, or you don't see it at all? So you want to try to understand how to get your videos higher up in the ranking. Also, what kind of keywords are you using? Try to find out if you're doing any research or analytics about videos that are out there. What are some of the keywords that are used? Maybe you can use those in your videos, especially if they're trending. Which brings us to our next thing of research. So if you're going to be doing videos and you're not sure if any topics that you want to cover, you can go ahead and do research and research trending, and you can also do content tips. There's a lot of videos and a lot of help out there, so you shouldn't get too lost, but try to stay focused into what it is you're trying to get at. Like, of course, you can't do any videos on whale hunting because it comes up as top trending, but you have no clue on how to hunt a whale, and who would want to hunt a whale, right? Of course, there's site optimization. So there's many different things to do to optimize your site when you're trying to publish something. Smart AI driven, you're going to have intelligent video apps that you can look for and you can use to help in that, because you're going to be doing video content analysis as well. So you want to try to get deeper into what's going to bring in the most traffic and what's maybe going to bring in the most donations. Are you capturing your consumers, people that are watching your videos or asking for your service or whatever? And then there's branding, of course. So you want to, it's supposed to identify a person or company, right? And then there's merchandising, where you have products, you have sales, you want to make sure that you acquire customer information. And then, of course, there's the three biggies for social media. We got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm not going to go too much into detail about these three. We all pretty much know what they are. Just remember what I said about Instagram, that if you post on Instagram, you can actually automatically send the same post to Twitter and Facebook. Hey, if you like this episode of Filmmaking and More, make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time I drop a video. We'd love to have you join our Filmmaking and More family by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Any support that you can provide for Juicyfroot Productions will give us the resource and access we need to keep bringing you content like this. For us here at Juicyfroot Productions and Robb Entertainment Corporation, that brings us to the end of another great episode of Filmmaking and More with your host, Juicy. I want to say thank you for watching. Take care.